For decades, we treated aging like a mechanical problem. The working assumption was that our bodies simply wore out over time, rusting and breaking down like a neglected piece of machinery. But when biologists examine the physical structure of a 70-year-old's DNA, they find something unexpected. The core physical hardware, the base genetic code we are born with, remains largely intact. The hardware hasn't failed. The problem lies in the slow, accumulating errors in the software that tells that hardware how to operate. By focusing entirely on physical wear and tear, medical science spent a century trying to repair the wrong system. We were trying to patch the engine when we should have been debugging the code. To find where this glitch happens, we have to travel past the tissue, through the cell membrane, and down to the surface of the nucleus. This system is the epigenome. If DNA is the hard drive, the epigenome is the operating system. These small chemical tags act as switches, constantly attaching and detaching from the helix to tell specific genes when to activate and when to remain silent. Over time, chronic stress and environmental toxins disrupt this process. As you see here on the helix, the chemical tags start attaching in clustered, chaotic patterns. The cell becomes confused, eventually shutting down the genes required for health and vitality. If aging is the result of these corrupted commands, identifying the mechanism to rewrite that code provides a means to restore cellular performance to its initial peak state. The transition from theory to laboratory reality arrived through a breakthrough in stem cell biology. In 2006, Dr. Shinya Yamanaka discovered a method to target and erase these accumulated errors within an individual cell. The findings were so significant that they earned Yamanaka the Nobel Prize in Medicine. He identified 4 specific proteins, now called the Yamanaka factors. When injected into an exhausted, aged adult cell, these proteins scrubbed away the corrupted epigenetic data. The cell instantly reverted into a pristine stem cell. These results demonstrated that, at the level of the individual cell, the aging process is not an inevitable decline, but a reversible state. However, zooming out from a petri dish to a complete human body reveals a massive complication. We are composed of trillions of highly specialized cells, each meticulously programmed for a specific task. The problem with the Yamanaka factors is that they work with too much precision. When a cell's age data is erased, the process also wipes its identity. A heart cell forgets how to beat. A neuron forgets how to transmit a signal. Applying this total erasure to a living person would instantly destroy the structural integrity of their organs, leading to systemic failure rather than youth. This led to the development of partial reprogramming. Researchers found that by exposing a cell to these factors for a very brief, carefully timed window, they could roll back the epigenetic clock just enough to clear the corruption while leaving the cell's underlying identity intact. This approach suggests that the path to longevity is not found in erasing the cell, but in carefully restoring it to its prime biological state. To understand how this microscopic debugging translates to visible health, we can look at the surface of human skin. As we age, the epigenetic tags controlling our collagen genes accumulate errors and switch the production process off. Similarly, hair follicles shrink and stop producing growth because the stem cells inside them are locked into a dormant state by corrupted epigenetic software. By applying partial reprogramming to these specific tissues, scientists clear the faulty tags, the collagen genes switch back on, and dormant stem cells wake up to resume thick, healthy growth. These therapies go beyond managing symptoms. They reset the biological mechanics of the tissue to operate as they did in a 25-year-old. This science is rapidly moving out of the lab and toward clinical reality. We are approaching an era where medical professionals will analyze your genome to identify exactly where your individual epigenetic tags have deteriorated. They will deploy customized, targeted therapies to overwrite those specific, localized glitches, tissue by tissue. Our physical hardware is a masterpiece. By learning how to rewrite the software that controls it, we move from simply living longer to actually living younger.